All right. Welcome everyone to NerdKnight episode
66, and it's happening right here
in Melbourne, Australia. And it's your boy here, Sammy Chucks, the founder and CEO of Hck4G and the Link Group, which includes CyLynk, BridgeLink, and all of the other businesses that we're building here. I am super excited to share with you guys what we are working on today, and it is going to be absolutely amazing. So thank you so much, everyone, for joining. If it is your first time joining this session, you are welcome. Guys, you can see I went straight into it. I am going to count down once this epic music stops playing, and it's actually called Rebellion. I'm going to add it in the comment section. By the way, if you guys want to check it out, it is pretty epic and pretty rebellious. Well, welcome to the show. Let's get it started. And you guys know what we do here. It is hands-on technical training, insight about building a startup in cybersecurity, about learning and growing as an individual, as a business. It's about the trenches, the struggles, the mental health, the pain, the recovery, and the never giving up attitude, right? The resilience as well. So thank you so much for joining and for tuning in. If it is your first time here, you are definitely in the right place. Where else would you be on a Saturday? Well, depending on what part of the world you are from, it is 9 p.m. here in Melbourne, Australia. I'm sure a different time in different time zones. I believe those in the UK, this is probably about 10 a.m. So there you go. The world is absolutely gorgeous and massive, and it's just incredible how God created the universe and the way that there's different time zones. And obviously, we understand the science behind that with the sunlight and where it's facing and whatnot. But we can get too familiar with that. And I just want to just stop and admire and just savor that. It is so awesome. All right, let's jump right into it. So in terms of what we're going to be expecting today, I'm going to quickly share my screen. We are going to spend less time doing a bit of talking today and dive into a lot of learning very, very quickly. So there is so much to learn. There is so much to do. So hopefully you guys can join me on that amazing experience. So let's have a quick look. Let's have a quick look just to make sure everything is all good. All right, let's go. I think I should have my Canvas slides ready somewhere here. Where is that? Hopefully this is working. Hopefully people are actually watching this. Hopefully we've got someone who's there. Hey guys, if you are there in the comment section, please say hi. I think my video might need a bit of an uplift. It doesn't look very clean on YouTube. Is that correct, or am I making that up? I think, is it good or bad? I do apologize, everyone. I did start streaming a bit late today. I think it's working. I'm not sure. I'm sure everyone can probably hear me. Oh, I did not put this link on Discord. By the way, guys, if you have not already joined us on Discord, go ahead and do so. You can find us on by going to the CyLynk.com website, so you can actually join the Discord server, so you don't miss out whenever we have like any of this sort of events, just the ongoing conversations that happen. So today I'm going to focus on talking about what it's been following the Hck4G con that we just finished. Guys, I'm not gonna lie, the last 2 weeks have been absolutely hard. Like I haven't felt this way in a long time. It's been really, really hard for me. So typically what happens obviously is that like the building 3 startups at the same time has it has its mental toll. So what ended up happening was, we obviously, aside from the fact that we're building these 3 different startups, which is Hck4G, CyLynk, and BridgeLink, and each one of them require intense amount of technology and intense amount of effort and work. And you obviously know some of the pain of being a startup is that you don't have a lot of resources. Like big organizations can afford to hire people and just throw more body and human resources at problems. But one of the fun and the pain of a startup is that you get to wear several different hats: the business marketer, the salesperson, and and so on and so forth. So for me, it's been really hard, not because like I'm sick or any. Well, I have been sick over the last week. So the first week after the conference, which pretty much I did not get much sleep. Like I can count how many hours I got in the last week of leading to the conference. Literally in my two hands. So it was really bad. I pretty much sleep deprived myself so we can have that conference and that CTF available to you guys. And that's because my team and I actually genuinely care about execution. Like we would give anything to see the cybersecurity community go far and continue to thrive. So basically what ended up happening was after the event, I pretty much crashed. Like for a lot of people who saw me at the conference, they just saw me whenever I tried to sit down and not actually go up and about, I fell asleep almost instantly. Hey James, welcome aboard, my friend. Oh jeez. Yes. Welcome to, I think, James, I believe this is your first Nerd Night. So welcome, my friend, to the fun. Can you guys see my Dell Multiplex server there? We've got some pretty cool things that we're going to be building in the server rack. I'm just literally going through and doing some shopping at the moment. So I'm going to show you guys some of the stuff I want to buy. I'm going to show you guys how to build a cheap home server where you cannot afford one of those big, massive ones. So I'm going to show you guys a cheap way that we're currently trying to buy and build that home server. Anyways, I digress. So back to mental health, the struggle, and the mission and the goal of what we're trying to build here. You guys know that I'm not one of those guys. I think this is kind of my therapy session as well as hopefully you guys as well. Please, by the way, feel free to share what it is that you've been going through as well yourself. Like, I think one of the things that we need to do more within cyber, actually, like everyone in general, we need to talk to each other a bit more. We need to show a little bit more of our vulnerability and the human side so that we can know how to look after each other when one person needs looking after. Anyway, so after the event, I pretty much, that night, I could not even drive because I got 1 hour sleep. Tara got 2 hours or 1.5 hours sleep. I'm sure 1.5 because of my snoring. You guys know. The boy works hard and he snores hard too. Anyways, I'm joking. I don't even know if I still snore, but yeah, whatever. But, so we ended up just having the event, which was amazing. Every single person who came to that event can definitely tell you that there was heart and soul in it. And we wanted to build something that was unique, that literally did not exist anywhere else. Like, there's no other conference in Australia that does just panel and workshops. And this is something I've always wanted to create, something that just does away with a lot of the talky, and more about actually giving people hands-on, job-ready skills and technical training. So that was essentially very successful. Of course, it didn't go down without a few struggles or a few bumps here and there. But we eventually made it work thanks to a lot of incredible sponsors and partners and volunteers and committee members and directors. Shout out to Vaughn here. Vaughn is one of our directors. Vaughn does an incredible work helping organize and getting things going, and is actually a really good marketing guy. Like, Vaughn just loves prototyping and doing marketing. Anyways, something that cybersecurity people don't care about, I'm pretty sure. Shout out to Adriana, Daphne, and James. Shout out to your team. The Will Hck4G team for winning the CTF was absolutely awesome. So basically, like, that week after the event, I pretty much just crashed. Like, I couldn't do anything, and there was so much to do. Like, there was so much work, so much emails. I pretty much spent the 2 days, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, spent those literally just replying to messages on LinkedIn and trying to build the momentum so we can obviously spread the message of Hack for Good, which is disrupting cybercrime in underserved communities and untapped regions, one hack for good at a time. So when it got to like Wednesday, and I wanted to get back into things because there was a lot of things that we're building. We have just, by the way, guys, if you're not aware of this, we have just launched our monthly subscription on CyLynk.com. So guys, we are building the first ever job-ready, hands-on cybersecurity training platform ever. Guys, again, you guys know that I'm not joking when I say that. Like, our competitors like TryHackMe, Hack2Box, Sans, they all do an incredible job, but a lot of the focus is on gamification and not about actually employable skills, like things that hiring managers are looking for. Like, you might know how to solve a box or capture a flag, but that skill might not necessarily directly translate into the skill you need for a job. And some of those things actually rely on problem-solving skills and critical thinking skills that we are teaching on as part of our platform. And for anyone who has done any of our labs or any of our courses, you know that there are some subtle ways that we actually add that. So, yeah. Yeah, no, absolutely. Hey, James, thank you so much for obviously attending the now Hack for Good meetup. But yes, it was called BlueCon for a bit there. Quite a lot of people actually were not happy that we changed the name to Hack for Good. But I felt like we needed to actually get a name or have a name that really showed what it is that our organization is for, and not just talk about BlueCon. Obviously, like Hack for Good is actually a more people teaming at heart platform, which is what CyLynk is. So we do both attack and defense. So which means on our platform you'll be able to find general IT training, offensive, defensive, GRC, leadership, people teaming stuff. So that's pretty much what our platform is trying to do. So we're not trying to either be offensive or defensive. That's my career. I've kind of done leadership, pretty much everything. GRC. I've been a pen tester. I've been a threat detection engineer, a SOC analyst, and you name it. Wow. And now it's suffering, wanna be entrepreneur. Anyways, so by Wednesday I crashed, and I thought, it'll just be a one day thing. I basically bounce back into it and start doing stuff. And believe me, guys, when I say there's a lot to do, I just couldn't move. Like I was just sitting at my desk every single day, just going, right, we've got things to do. There's work to do. There's stacks of work to do. And I believe that was actually the incubation period of the sickness that I've got right now. So I think it was like the Sunday of it. I eventually started feeling a bit of sore throat. I'm sure this is probably a severe case of the man flu. So like I've been sick over the last week, and I'm feeling a lot better now, by the way, guys. So shout out to Tara for looking after me and, making me tea, coffee. Like, guys, I make this weird tea coffee combination that I think you guys should try this. So are you ready for it? So you take a little bit of coffee. Like, now this can either be instant coffee. We use instant coffee like Macona for it at home. So I mostly drink instant coffee because I don't actually have time and patience to go and make my own homebrew coffee. Nathan really tried to convert me to someone who makes homebrew coffee, but it just never really clicked. But so you take an instant coffee, put a little bit of it, the same way you normally make coffee, but actually add like a black tea, like English, whatever it is. I've forgotten the actual name of the tea. Just a normal black tea. Add it in there, and then one spoon of honey. Just mix it up together. Leave the tea in there. And if you want some milk, you can add some milk into it. But typically, sometimes I don't actually want to drink milk. I just want to drink that. And guys, the first time you drink it, like, you might actually taste weird. Like, it's an acquired taste, but it's pretty cool. I love it. Like, you get the best of both worlds. Like, you're drinking coffee, you're drinking tea, and you're drinking honey. Like, it's just cool. Guys, please tell me in the comment section if you're going to try it out. And if you do try it out, let me know. You can actually also let me know in the Discord channel for NerdKnight. So, oh yeah, Internal Stranger. I think something has been going around. Maybe I have no idea what it is. Like, perhaps it's a man flu or whatever it is. I have no idea, to be honest. But guys, that's me. That's what's been happening with the startup, with the mission. A quick update on what we're going to be doing. So obviously we've just launched the CyLynk monthly subscription, which, by the way, it's probably the cheapest platform you guys are ever going to see around. Like, of course, you know why it is very cheap and cheaper than other platforms. It's because, like, we are an organization that cares about people at heart. Like, we are a people's first organization. And because we obviously have like a tie with a non-for-profit at being Hack for Good, we really are not there just to make money. We want to make money to actually be able to support the mission of Hack for Good. So that's why all of our other businesses are strategic partners or sponsors of Hack for Good. So pretty much when you buy a subscription on our platform, you are actively sponsoring and helping out with Hack for Good as well. Of course, you're going to be able to donate directly to Hack for Good. We are working on getting that donation page going. I think it should be live by next week. So there's a few things going on. So one of the things we're planning at the moment is the Hack for Good tour. So basically, it's still Hack of No Nation because that's the theme of this financial year. So we'll be trying to visit three key countries in Africa, in pretty much cybercrime at risk zones where young people often find themselves involved in cybercrime and other petty crimes as well due to lack of awareness, lack of critical education that they need. Now, guys, I think I was having a chat with someone recently, and I said to them, going to school doesn't mean you're educated. That they're two different things, right? Like studying to pass an exam or studying to finish a class, that's not education. That's just, again, sometimes you can incidentally, by doing that, you can incidentally actually get a proper education that way, especially if you have good teachers. So like they say, if you stand outside long enough, you probably get rained on. So it's kind of that sort of approach. So, but when I mean education, I mean critical job-ready education. Again, I think you guys are probably sick of me using the word job-ready. That's because that's what our platform is based on. We don't want to just build a platform that does what everyone else is doing. Our goal is, how do we get you into a job? Like that's the hill I'm going to die on. So that will be happening in May 2026. But the Hack for Good meetup is going to start back in January. So we're actually going to have a meetup in January. I'll post about it at the start of December. I'm still looking for someone who's going to speak there. If I don't find anyone, I might have to speak myself. But so that's happening. And then we're going to be leaving Australia to go do the tour. So it's going to be a month-long tour. We're going to Ghana. We're going to Nigeria. We're going to potentially go to Cameroon as well. So these are some of the at-risk zones, and it's not the only ones. We're going to do Africa this time. Maybe next time we do India, and then another time we do Asia Pacific, and then just round robin over and over again. I think it was what country was that the government basically came in, the military came in and demolished some of the cybercrime recruitment houses. Let me see if I can find that. Just give me a second, guys. Let me switch view. Let's see. By the way, hope everyone has been doing well, having a good week so far. I've just shared with you guys how my week has been going. If I can spell. I can't spell, guys. Demolished. Yeah, I think it was Myanmar. So typically when I talk about cybercrime, people actually think that there's just one region. Like this is far-reaching. For anyone who does not know this, cybercrime is actually the third world biggest economy. Well, New York Times, I do not have money to give you. And guys, this is in Asia Pacific. This is not Africa. This is in Myanmar here, just next door. Like literally, I don't know how far away Myanmar is, but it is a couple of hours flight, and you get there. And there are basically camps that have been built. So this was quite recent. Obviously, you guys know that we track a lot of this cybercrime news. Let me see if I can find one that doesn't require us to pay money or something like that. So like this is exactly what we're saying. So 83 buildings were pretty much destroyed. So this is one of the things where we are seeing. So like cybercrime in underserved communities and untapped regions is not just like, it's not a thing that is new. Like guys, look at stacks of CyLynk, right? And you think the average young Mayan, is that how you call someone who's from Mayan? Do you call it Mayan or Mayan? I have no idea. Guys, please tell me in the comment section, what do you call someone who's from Myanmar? Like, do you call them Mayan or Mayan, or seriously, what's the name you're going to give them? So this is obviously some of the things that we're going to be doing as part of the tour. So we want to go to those at-risk zones, have a chat with young people, talk to them about the alternative pathways that exist. Like, again, things like bug bounty program. You can get into cybersecurity. You can pretty much work remotely from anywhere in the world. There are platforms like Upwork, Fiverr. We are actually going to build our own platform that does remote work as well. So there's a lot of things that we're doing, and I'm excited about that. All right, look, without going too much into this, so that's what we're going to be doing next year. You guys are going to be hearing a little bit more about it as we obviously go. We're going to need a lot of sponsors for this one because the trip is going to be very expensive. And the bank of Semi and Tara is pretty much run dry, as you guys can tell after the conference we just had. But I'm so grateful to every single one of you guys who actually came. So thank you. We are also looking to launch the first ever CyLynk certification by pretty much first quarter of next year. So guys, if you have not already registered on our platform, go ahead and register right away. So go to CyLynk.com and go to pricing so you can see the affordable pricing that we have there. If you're a student or you need some discount, please reach out to our team. We're obviously happy to help as much as we can. But you can actually start looking through our free content as we speak right now. So you don't actually have to wait to pay. So you can log in and start learning straight away. So if you click on Learn for Free, that takes you through the platform. Guys, check that out. Check that really cool image out. So you can register with your username, register with your password, and then you can create your account and actually start learning with us. If you've already created your account, you can log on and start learning. I think last week I showed you guys how to change your theme from daylight to night theme. It just looks a lot cooler. I like it better. It's better for my eyes and better for your eyes. So you can see a lot of the courses that we obviously have available here for you guys. So you can start learning. So you can see some of them that are free. So all the free courses you can find here. We are still obviously wanting to provide that clarity on the actual learning platform directly as well. But for now, you can see all of the courses that are free. So you can see that's free, that's free, that's free, that's free, that's free. So there's stacks of free courses that you can actually start learning. So you don't have to pay anything to start learning. That's free, that's free, that's free. But if you do want to obviously start learning, getting some of our subscription, the first tier of subscription is starter, and you can start from that, and that is $15 a month. Again, guys, that is $15 Australian, not US. Because I think you guys already know this by now, that a lot of platforms cheekily charge you $15 US, even though you're not in the US. So that's why we focus on charging you $15 Australian, because we are an organization of integrity, and a lot of the stuff we do, we are an Aussie startup. So, proudly Aussie. Oi. That's why everything we do is in Australian. Like even the words on our platform, we are strictly Australian spelling, which technically is British spelling as well. So things like we are very intentional about things like organization. It is spelled with an S as opposed to a Z. So things like that, we care about things like that, and we've taken care to make sure that we are a truly Australian born and bred organization. Of course, from Australia to the world, to the ends of the world. Anyways, so this is obviously a really interesting story that is developing, and some of these zones were actually centers that were infamous for recruiting workers from other countries under false pretenses, promising them legitimate jobs, then holding them captive and forcing them to carry out criminal activities. Guys, this is exactly what I've been saying. A lot of young people who get bastardized and called names and basically ostracized by the West and other parts of the world do not understand the pain that they go through. A lot of young people get promised opportunities from villages, and they come to the city and they come to these cybercrime recruitment centers, all in the pretense of them actually getting real jobs. And then from there, their documents and their travel tickets basically gets taken away from them. They can no longer go back home, and they basically are used for cybercrime activities. So this is why Hck4G exists as an organization. And obviously everyone here knows that I'm very passionate about that. All right, so I digress. So I'm kind of keen to spend a little bit of time and talk about OSINT today. So I'm probably going to skip a lot of news, but let's take a look at what is happening in the bleeding computers. Let's see. Is there anything there that is happening in AI world? Like, are the AI overlords coming yet? Oh, jeez. All right. Well, 7 years is a good time to reflect, I think. Is there one? What? Guys, as you can tell, I found my soundboard. I hope you're enjoying that one. All right, cool. So, public GitLab repository exposed more than 17,000 secrets. I think GitHub actually just released a post about a tool that you can use to scrub secrets from your code before they're published on GitHub. I've forgotten what the tool is called, but don't quote me on that. French Football Federation discloses data breach. Ooh, interesting. This person must be a cricket player that doesn't like soccer. Malicious LLM empower inexperienced hackers with advanced tools. Guys, you obviously know what I think right now. The only thing I would say about spelling is that it's cybersecurity, which is the British spelling. Oh, okay. 2 words, cybersecurity. We debated that one for a bit. Internal stranger. We're like, is it 2 words? Is it 1 word? So I think we've actually chosen to just stick with one, but obviously when possible, when you're actually spelling cybersecurity as 2 distinct words, you spell them separately. But if you're saying it in a sentence, it's probably more likely 1 word. So it is a bit of a gray zone, but yeah, thank you so much for your contribution there. OpenAI discloses API customer data breach via. Ooh, okay. Well. Guys, I hope you're getting some of the Black Friday deals out there. Unfortunately, CyLynk.com is not doing a Black Friday sale this year. Primarily because we've just given out a lot of discounts to people who came to the conference. So there's a lot of really good discounts out there. If you got one of our 50% discount card at Hck4G, hopefully you are enjoying that and loving that, and you've already purchased your the plan and you're already learning. Guys, this is just the beginning. There is a lot more courses coming. Believe me when I say that. There is a lot more courses coming. We're bringing in cybersecurity experts who are coming in to develop these courses. So, guys, the one thing you would know is that these courses are not developed by academia. They're developed by cybersecurity experts who are actively in the field, who are working and still researching and doing some of the cool things that they do. All right, look, I think I don't see anything here that is worthy of our time. So let's go into the matter of the day.
It is raining. Well, it is a cloud with a little bit of OSINT and SOCINT today. So I hope you guys are ready.
Let's get right into it. It is going to be fun and amazing, and it's cool. All right. So what's happening? Well, if you guys were here last week, I don't think I actually made a public post of NerdKnight 65 because I was too lazy and sick, like I just told you guys right now. But you guys know me. I still went ahead and did it. We still did NerdKnight. It's just that I did not post it out publicly. So if you missed that, you can actually still go and watch that. I believe I still have the link somewhere for you guys to watch it. So just go ahead and go and watch the last NerdKnight that happened. Alex, that one was for you, my friend. Hopefully you heard it. All right, let's go. So what is OSINT, and then what is SOCINT? So obviously, open source intelligence is what OSINT is, open source threat intelligence. And last week we talked about how that is essentially using information that is publicly and readily available on the internet. So, oh, cool. Thanks so much, Alex. If you can send that in the comment section, we can actually take a look at it as well. So basically, today I want to specifically focus on SOCINT. So this is social media, open source intelligence. So guys, you know some of the things that basically cybersecurity experts do is we take information that everyday person would probably just regard. No worries, mate. That everyday cybersecurity people just regard. I'll just play it again just to humor you, just to make sure you truly did hear it. Wrong one. Where is it? If I click the wrong button, where is it? Uh-oh. Yes, that is a. Wait, what is SpongeBob fail? Oh, jeez, that one was really good. I think I found my favorite sandboard now. That was actually really epic. I loved that one. Oh, jeez. Oh, jeez. That was so good. So basically, what is social media OSINT? So basically, one of the things I've obviously been researching right now is basically just understanding how threat actors leverage the information that is publicly available out there. And specifically today, we're going to focus on open source intelligence within social media platforms like X, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok. Obviously, we're not going to go into all of them, and sort of show you guys how you can leverage these platforms to do a little bit of, investigative, I guess, analysis of what is out there. And some of the reasons why you could potentially be doing an OSINT is perhaps you've gotten a job at work for you to do open source intelligence research, or you were looking for a job, and this is one of the ones that a lot of people actually miss out on, is you can actually use OSINT for looking for a job. So, and I'm going to show you guys how I've used this in the past, and it's really, really, really important to actually do this. So one of this I recommend to those who are doing a job ready tracks is, long before you actually apply for a job anywhere, to take your time. All right, Alex, no worries. If you can record your voice and give it to me, I'll add it to the soundboard. But anyways, so if you're someone who's obviously sort of, you're looking for a job and you're wondering, how do I get ahead? How do I ensure that I gain an edge and stand out from maybe like 1,000 other people that are going to spam that place? Spam that place with their resumes. Well, one thing you can actually do is go out there and understand a little bit more about the organization that you're wanting to apply for a job at, and then dig a little bit deeper to understand who is the person who's actually the hiring manager there. And then from there, you can sort of, learn more about them, and even actually take this further to even sending them a direct email. Because here's the thing, guys. Typically, when you apply for a job in cybersecurity, it hits HR first. And HR doesn't understand anything about cyber. So, like, if you don't have all the bells and whistles and all the, the keywords and jargons in your resume, which a lot of the times when you're new, you don't have those things because you haven't spent the time to capture it. But you might have something that is better than a certification, which is curiosity and a lot of experience in the lab environment that doesn't quite relate to having a certification or having worked before in cybersecurity. So this is where this is super, 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 super important for you to have this skill to be able to go and do research to understand information about organizations. So guys, please, I want to obviously give a legal and cautionary disclaimer here. Please, please, please do not do anything illegal or malicious with the information you're going to be learning through this stream. But what we're going to actually do is get hands-on job-ready skills about this. So I'm going to teach you guys how you can actually take information from a job board like sick.com.au and then find out a little bit more about the organization, including some of the things I've done in the past is actually reading their financial information as well, or their financial ledger, which is the financial report, annual financial report, to understand if the organization is financially healthy or not, right? So these are some of the things you got to think about. And that's essentially some of the ways that you can stand out. And then I'm going to show you guys how you can take that information and find out who could potentially be the hiring manager of that organization. And you can also find out what sort of an email the person has, and then further on go to send them an email as well if you wanted to do that. Again, we are going to carefully not go into a lot of the details of actually finding someone's email address, but I can show you guys how you could approach that. Again, none of this has been planned. Let's jump right in, guys. All right, cool, awesome. Well, is there like a get ready button? Well, is there a SpongeBob? I am ready. SpongeBob, is there a SpongeBob? I am ready button. Oh, seriously. All right. That one, that one got me in a really good place. I used to be a wrestling lover years and years ago when I still actually had time to do anything. Now I don't have time to do anything anymore. But that was a good one. All right, cool. Thanks so much, Alex. We're going to dive into OSINT, but I'm going to take a look at those articles and actually share that in the comment section as well. So thank you for sharing those with me, Mister. I really appreciate it. Oh boy. Wait, why am I not seeing the links? If you send them in the chat here, Alex. That is weird though. Do you want to send them on Discord and I can share it with everyone? Maybe. Oh jeez. Sorry, I just saw a meme that was very funny. Shout out to Asido. Asido does a great job. And by the way, Asido, that meme is from Let's Defend, which technically is a competitor, but I'll let you go for now. I'll let you go, guys. Make sure you keep it within the organization. We don't want to be posting things about Hck4G on our platform. Of course, I don't have to explain that to you guys for you to understand. All right, let's actually really just take a look at a quick definition of what SOCINT is, right? So, one of the really good platforms that I've used is Sophia's OSINT platform. I've also used the OSINTs is it OSINT combined? But for this, I'm quite happy for us to just use AI definition just to show you guys the official definition of this. Alex, I haven't seen the links. You might have to send it to me on Discord. For some reason, it's not coming through the comment section. Maybe YouTube is blocking them. Let me refresh my page. Not sure what's going on there. Yeah, you might have to send it to me on Discord, and I'll share it with everyone. All right, guys. So, what is SOCINT? So, Dawn of Social Intelligence. Well, there's a PDF here from Georgetown University. I guess that's a good one to read, but I would actually rather look at something from Motigo. So, guys, for those who are not aware of this, Motigo is one of those amazing social engineering tools out there. So, I think I would rather look at the content from them. So, I only want necessarily cookies. Thank you. So, I don't want any of that. Thank you. I don't want to do any marketing nonsense. Thank you. Consent. Yes. Accept. All right. I'll wait for you to send me those links so I can share it with everyone. All right, guys. Let's see. Social media intelligence, which is SOCMINT. Hey, I think I got it wrong. Oh, yeah. I definitely got that wrong. It is SOCMINT, not SOCINT. Well, I'll quickly modify it. I doubt it'll work here. Huh. Wow. Well, there you go, guys. I definitely blew that one off the park, but we'll just keep going because we don't have a lot of time. I really want to show you guys this. So, social media intelligence is considered a discipline of open source intelligence. SOCMINT can be defined as the techniques, technologies, and tools that allow for the collection and analysis of information from social media platforms. SOCMINT can be harnessed by government or non-state actors, such as private intelligence agencies or marketing companies, to gain knowledge about specific individuals, groups, events, or other targets. While SOCMINT generally fall under the category of OSINT, there are some key differences worth noting. So this is the article that they've basically gone through. So what are some of those key concepts and principles? So again, like I said to you guys, we are talking about LinkedIn, Facebook, X, which used to be called Twitter, Instagram. Like literally, you can even go as deep as things like Pinterest, Reddit, for other forums like even places like Stack Overflow, right? If you're looking for a technical person who is obviously active online, you can actually find them on some of those technical platforms. So do not limit yourself to some of the well-known social media platforms. It's more likely that if you're trying to do an OSINT on a technical person, that you're not going to find anything on their actual main social media platform like Facebook or X or Instagram. But guess where you're going to find treasure trove of information about them on any technical platform that they're active in, and that whether that could be Discord or whatnot. Again, that's if you're doing it on Discord, that's probably borderline social engineering and no longer OSINT. But you could potentially find a lot of information about technical people, especially if they usually help out on online platforms like Open Exchange and Stack Overflow and whatnot. So again, I guess that kind of goes to say, be very careful what you post online. Take your time to make sure that you review your social media platform and get rid of anything that is not required or necessary. So one of the key things here is to note that in these investigations, government investigators will likely go through the court system to request subpoenas or warrants to obtain information directly from the social media platform. So this is not what we're doing. But often with SOCMINT, techniques will have already been employed to gather the data used to support the issuance of those subpoenas and warrants. So in this case, we're not going directly to the social media platforms. We are just scraping the web to see what we can find. So this is a really good resource here. So where to collect information about social media, there's a go. You've got TikTok, Snapchat, others like Pinterest, Reddit, Open Exchange, including GitHub as well, right? Because you can look at someone's GitHub page to see what they've been doing. LinkedIn, Facebook, like I said before. So let's actually sort of see how this could be used in the real world. And I'm going to use LinkedIn as an example and also see if I can show you guys something about Facebook as well. And then next week, if we've got to some time, we're going to look at how you can actually find deleted posts. So if someone has made a post and then deleted it, how do you find that? Right. And then obviously we're currently building a social media an OSINT course on the CyLynk platform. So you guys will be able to obviously go through and complete a bunch of labs about some of the stuff that we're talking about here eventually. All right, without any further ado, let's dig into it, guys. So let's go to where every single good job, every single six-figure job is found in Australia, sig.com.au. Let's say you're a cybersecurity analyst who's looking for a cybersecurity analyst job or a cybersecurity engineer, but I'll just type in cybersecurity here, right? Let's just humor me. Right, so cyber and application security engineer, that's a good one. A little bit more senior. So let's actually do something that is more approachable to everyone. So share security, that's a really good one. So graduate cybersecurity consultant. So by the way, for anyone who's looking for a job out there, this is a really good one. So let's do this on this, right? Let's do this investigation on this job because it's just 1 day old. And guys, this is the secret information that I teach those who are in our highly coveted job ready tracks that are high ticket items. So that's what I'm showing you guys here today for free. So this is what I teach people. This is what we teach people in there. So let's say you want to actually go and get this job, this graduate cybersecurity job. So how would you apply for it? And how would you use SOCMINT to find information about this organization and track down who the decision maker is? Like, again, when I say decision maker, I'm actually referring to the hiring manager. So who's the hiring manager here? And is there a way that you can bypass this whole system here that sig.com.au uses? Which, like I said to you guys before, if you click on apply here, the person who's going to receive this is 99.99% very likely going to be an HR person. And guess what is it? What it is about HR people? They're skimming through thousands of resumes and looking for that one person who has all the bells and whistles. But if you're someone who's obviously been working tirelessly to build job-ready skills, and this is the amazing thing about job-ready skills is you don't need certifications for that. You've spent countless hours in the lab environment. You're working hard. You're spending countless sleepless nights to study. So that's something that you can actually convey genuinely that only someone who's been in cybersecurity as a hiring manager will be able to appreciate it. But if you're someone who basically rely on just submitting an application like this without actually doing a SOCINT investigation, you're very likely to not land that job, right? And I'm going to show you guys how to actually land it. So the first things first, of course, some of the very well-known good etiquettes of how to apply for a job is you read what the job is actually saying. And then we're going to go through and find out a little bit more about this organization, right? So again, remember guys, this is open source intelligence and do not do anything illegal with this information. So you may not have heard of us, but we provide security services to some of Australia's largest technology companies operating with a dynamic team. Share Security has supplied the information technology sector with security consulting, penetration testing, and training for over 8 years. Our business operates within a very inclusive hacker culture, and our team is actively involved in industry conferences and the cybersecurity community. Right? So we pride ourselves. So there's already some key things here that I'm seeing that are jumping out to me: industry conferences and the cybersecurity community. So it's very likely that this person, you might actually meet them in the cybersecurity event somewhere, right? And this is why networking is really good as well. So again, I kind of don't want to teach you every single thing in one fail swoop video. So let's focus on the one thing that you need to learn. So we pride ourselves in being a tech-strong business, and we encourage and promote the technical skills and development of our team. Currently, we operate under a hybrid of working from home and working in the office, which is located in Melbourne CBD. Again, shout out to my Melbourneians out there. This junior position has risen due to the progression of our team, moving into advanced roles and due to growing demand for our services. We are looking for an enthusiastic, right? Highlight that. So can we find a highlighter on this thing? Is there such a thing as a highlighter? I'm sure if I put it into reading mode, is that reading mode? I've never used this stuff I'm talking about on Edge before. So more tools. Anyways, apps. What apps we have? I don't care about that. So let's say we highlight. Let's assume you're highlighting this somewhere, right? So one of the key things we've identified is that this job is in Melbourne. We've obviously identified that it's a combination of working from home and hybrid operation. And some of the things I've just found out now is that why was this job made open? This job was made open because one of the team member has obviously been promoted to a more senior role, and this job has now become available, right? So if successful in your application, you will have the opportunity to work alongside leading industries, professionals, and learn from some of the best ethical hackers in Australia. So another thing that I did notice here is that they talked about how they value learning and education and training and growing, right? So our team moving in advance. Where did I see that? We are looking for enthusiastic university graduates coming into the cybersecurity industry who are keen to learn and grow in Melbourne. So that's obviously key. So the role involves penetration testing for clients across different industries based in Melbourne, cybersecurity consulting covering varied technology stacks, developing technical skills to improve yourself, yada, 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 yada. And what are they looking for, right? This is one of the cool things about this job is that this job is not asking you for an OSCP. So this is definitely one for, I'm going to actually post this job. I'm going to post the job in the CyLynk page. So this is a really good job, by the way, guys. If you're listening to this, you're watching this, definitely go and apply for this job now because this is a really good one. This is a really good one. And obviously, I'm showing you guys some of the tricks on how to find it, right? So we go down, we see that they're looking for proficiency in Linux. Again, we actually have a lot of these courses on the CyLynk.com platform. So the practical Linux CLI Essential and Windows CLI Essential is actually very, very good for this. So you can actually do that course, get a certificate for this, and you can actually do that course in about a week's time. But if you have already done the course, that means you've actually met the requirement for this. And a detailed understanding of the HTTP protocol, we are actually working on the TCP/IP Defender course. But again, if everyone kind of understands how HTTP works, so if you've already been in cybersecurity, but this is something that would take you less than a day to understand. Proven, sustained self-study, specifically in the field of cybersecurity. Again, a lot of you guys who are watching have already been doing this. So that's another yes. Having proven built a web application or either professionals as a hobbyist. Right, again, that's something that you might not necessarily have. But at the end of the day, when you're applying for a job, you don't necessarily want to say yes to everything. So proven coding skills in one or more languages. So like Python, you can see here, Ruby, JavaScript, Rust, Golang, Java, and C#. Well, a lot of you guys are already probably familiar with Python already. Now, you don't necessarily have to be a software engineer here. You just need to know how to actually code and how to solve problems with it. So English, of course, right? I'm sure we're not speaking Mandarin here in Australia yet. Oh, jeez. I kind of want to do an evil laugh for that one. Where is it? That was a good one. For anyone who got what my reference was about there, then if you know, you know, right? If you know, you know. All right. So benefit learning and development via a personal development plan with in-house industry professionals. Opportunity to work with some of the best penetration testers in Australia. Negotiable salary based on experience. Remote work with working from home arrangement supported where applicable. Supported technical training from some of the best trainers in the industry. Right, guys. This is an organization that actually cares about your well-being and your training. So now, this is where 99.99% of people stop. They read this and they don't actually go through the analysis that I just went through right now. Like I've seen people just click on, oh, graduate cybersecurity thingy, quick apply and go. They haven't spent the time to actually understand the heart of this organization. Why are they looking for someone? And how can I align myself to ensure that I'm the right person for the role? Right, this is why we're doing this. So let's go. So the first thing I would do is go to the Share Security website. So let's find it. Let's Google them. Again, this is OSINT here. And obviously our focus area is on SOCINT, which we're going to SOCMINT, which we're going to focus on. But let's look at Share Security. They say that one thing we do know is that they're in Melbourne, and we also know that they also provide training and cybersecurity consulting. And bada boom, bada bam, we now know their office, right? So if you're someone who wants to obviously walk in, which I do not recommend. I don't actually recommend people walking into offices anymore since after COVID, because you're more likely not to actually meet anyone there. So that's one key thing there. So probably don't try walking into an office. But let's take a look at the website. By the way, O'Shea, if you're listening to me, shout out to you and your team. I know you guys do an incredible work. So this is not an investigation on your organization. I'm just showing people how to actually have fun. So shout out to your organization for the work you guys do. So here's the website. So first thing, how do we know that this is their website? Aside from the fact that it says sheasecurity.com.au, where we go back and look at the logo. So it's Shea with a dash blue, like aqua blue. Is that aqua blue? And we have a look at that. We see that there's a match. So we can obviously visually tell you that this is obviously true. Oh, and we have Shea herself, right? Our leaders. So we can actually see. So this is Pamela O'Shea. So a lot of you guys obviously already know Pamela. She does an incredible job, incredible person. And then Jonathan Mitchell. And then obviously we can see that they are the only two people here that are available on their website. But I'm going to show you guys how to use social media to actually find out other people who actually work in that organization, right? That's what we want to know. But what we actually want to know is, how did O'Shea Security start? What are the things they care about as an organization, right? So we kind of look a little bit more. We can see where the office is. We can see the ABN and the ACN, right? So again, you can obviously use this to find out a little bit more about their financial data, if they are a public company. But in this case, they're a private organization. So it is very unlikely that you're going to find their financial information online. By the way, guys, if anyone has any questions, please go ahead and add those questions in the comment section, so I can read them and help out. So we can obviously take a look at their blog, some of the things they've written before. So a typology for security tools, Black Hat Asia 2025. By Pamela, winners of CrikeCon 2025 CTF, winners of B-Side CTF 2024. So you can see all of the cool things that they've done and the things that they're doing. So it seems that they're very popular and very active in the cybersecurity industry, right? There you go. So that's pretty cool. We can see that we can find a lot about this organization here. So you see that? See that? So we can tell that these guys have affiliation with B-Side Canberra and B-Side Singapore, OWASP and Black Hat, right? So again, we're already learning so much about this organization. But one of the things I'll draw your attention to is those who are actual authors of these blogs. So we can see Chuan Shu Jiang and Si Zhang. Obviously, we have O'Shea, Pamela here as well. So we can see two other employees which were not listed on their leaders page. And you can obviously go to the community so you can see what they're doing. So since 2016, Pamela O'Shea has been running Melbourne software-defined RDP radio meetup group. The Melbourne SDR meetup serves as a forum to exchange knowledge, ideas related to software-defined radio, both software and hardware, and generally aims to get people excited about the application. So, all right, so we can go. There's actually a meetup that they actually do. So, you know how I said to you guys that there's probably an opportunity for us to take a look at these people, take a look at the organization and be there in person. Well, it turns out that you can actually see when the next event is going to be. So they don't have any events coming up, but we can see that they've got 53 ratings and it's 4.8, and they have 751 members. So it seems they've actually been doing this for quite a while. Can we see any of their past events? So there you go. They had an event on the 31st of October, 2024, 2023. So it hasn't been running for quite a while. So, okay, that's interesting. But you can see that they're obviously active in the cybersecurity industry. And this is where it gets cool. If you actually win an interview for that job, this is actually a really good place. Getaway meetup. Are you crazy? This is where you can actually bring this up and say, hey guys, I noticed that you guys have not run the I think, is it called Hacks? I think it's called Hacks. You guys have not run the Hacks meetup for quite a while now, the Cyber Spectrum Melbourne meetup. what's going on there. Is there anything that I can do to help out? I like actually being part of a meetup, and I've been going to Hck4G meetup now in Melbourne, which is run by Sammy Chucks. Right? So this is where you can obviously start conversation. Now, by doing that, by taking a look at this stuff, again, all of this is OSINT based investigation. Now, we're obviously doing SOCINT now, SOCMINT, because we're looking at a social media platform like Meetup. So we've actually found out that these guys actually have a social media platform, a Meetup platform that they run, and we can see that they haven't run one for a while. And this is a good conversation starter for you. So they were going to do one here on the February 21st, and it was cancelled. Yep. Yes, absolutely. That is absolutely correct. Internet stranger. And that's something you can bring up during an interview and go, hey, I remember you talking about this at that meetup at that time. This is what people, what organizations care about. They don't care about people flicking resumes at them. They care about people who actually genuinely know what they're talking about and people who actually care about cybersecurity, the cybersecurity industry. So we go to careers, and this is where this is going to get interesting. We can see that there is a job for a cybersecurity penetration tester here. You see? And the job we're looking at is not even listed on the website, right? Contact us. You can see that they've got an email here. So this is one way that you can actually bypass. Let's assume you're lazy and you don't want to go dig a little bit deeper to find out people, someone to send an email to directly, like maybe reaching out to Pamela directly. Let's say you want to just send an email to someone. You can actually send this email to contact@sharesecurity.com.au. This is more likely to land on Pamela's desk or someone who's in the technical team than the HR team. Or it could even land on their service desk team. That's a better chance than HR. Are you guys paying attention to this? By the way, if you're loving this, please, show us some love. Like, subscribe, put your thumbs up, show the love heart. If this is so good so far, guys, this is what open source intelligence is all about. So we've learned a lot about this organization by going to their website. Right. One thing we haven't quite learned is the story of official security. Now, right, our organization is run by leading industry professionals. So all of this is actually a lot of the more professional level of this. Alex, I'll take a look. Yes, I did get it. So I'll put them in the comment section for you. Thank you for sharing those. Copy and comment. That's probably why, Alex, that it wasn't working. Pardon me. Guys, you can probably still hear my flu or whatever it is that I caught. That's been doing a massive number on me. All right, copy that. Paste. Hang on. What? That's why it never actually got sent, Alex. So let's do this. Visit site. The URL is too long. One. Alex, can you confirm that you guys got that one? I do apologize, everyone who's obviously wondering why we stopped and why I'm doing this. That's because we've been wanting to post some of those links. So both links are now in the comment section. Can someone please confirm them? Whilst we stare at Pamela's amazing photo here. All right, so we can see services whom they've worked for, right? REA Group, Mayob, Sportsbet, GMHBI, SICK. They also provide cybersecurity training and education, security testing, scoping, tailored reporting, yada yada yada. The topology for so they've written a lot of good blogs. Now the thing with this is we don't see any heart in this. So why did Share Security start as an organization? What are the ethos? What is the mission, the value, the organizational heart? Why did they exist as an organization? Now, obviously, from someone who's in leadership and someone who's in strategic position like me, I can sort of see a hint of it. And I also know Pamela's story, so I kind of get it. But one thing you can do is we can see that Pamela is obviously the key person here. She's the founder of the organization, right? So we can actually take a look at Pamela's page. So she's got a PhD. We wonder what Pamela's PhD she's done. Now we can actually see, right? Pamela received her PhD in computer science from the University of Limerick, Ireland in 2026. Again, she's from Ireland. So if you get an interview with her, you can probably make an Ireland joke. So, guys, please don't do that. Literally, do not go to an interview and say, Semi asked me to make an Ireland joke, or do an Ireland accent. Hey, matey. Hey, righty, yeah. I have no idea how to make an Ireland accent. Guys, I am so sorry for doing that. I'm sure you guys are probably going, what was that, Semi? Right? And you can see that she's quite involved in the cybersecurity industry, right? So, university lecturer for the RMIT Masters in Cybersecurity. So, she's actually helped teach the practical ethical hacking module. So, this is the kind of person we're dealing with here, right? So, but one of the things I know is that people often have a story. So, all of these technical accomplishments are amazing, but they don't actually tell you the heart of what Pamela is looking for. What kind of an individual does she care about, right? So, let's go take a look at Pamela's LinkedIn page, right? To see if we can find more. So first things first, one thing you want to do is to search share security in general. I think it's SA. Sorry, it's EI because that's her last name. So let's search for share security. By the way, for anyone who has not done LinkedIn search filters before, I'm going to show you guys some tricks on how to use it. So I've just searched for a keyword here. So LinkedIn will basically just try to crawl every single one of your database for this. One way to actually get unique specified information is to put a double quote around it. So LinkedIn knows you're looking for this word specifically the way it exists here. Now, we're not necessarily looking for this word the way it exists because there are some places where share security will be 2 words and some places where it'll be 1 word. In this case, we've done it 1 word. So if we search for it like this, it is just going to look for literally where that word share security exists in 1 word, right? And that might not necessarily give us the information we're looking for. So we can see we can look for jobs, people, companies, groups, posts, products, services, events, courses, schools. Now, if you search for, let's see the different result we get when we search for share with 2 words. And bada boom, bada bam. Do you guys see that? The search result was different immediately. Now we can see some things. We can see that guy, the Chuanshu Juan, the security consultant. Remember, this was the guy we saw with the blog post here, right? This was the guy that made a blog post. So this is how you kind of dig in to find out a little bit more about them. So again, what we're trying to find out is for this job, how do we improve our overall chance of being called for an interview? And if we do end up getting an interview, how can we ensure that we are someone who actually scales through that initial interview and actually lands the job? And to do that, you need to go beyond just looking at seek.com.au or looking at LinkedIn, right? LinkedIn jobs. You need to dig a little bit deeper. And this is how you do that using SOCMINT. So we can see here that there are 430 followers of the LinkedIn page, right? Now, I'm going to show you guys a trick here. When you want to find out who actually works in an organization, you just go to the actual organization page and switch to the people tab. So you can see the people that actually works here and where they live. So we can see that they live in Melbourne. 5 people live in Melbourne. 5 of them live in Australia. 5 of them live in Victoria. And the 5 of them in Melbourne. So it looks like every single one of these guys are actually based in Melbourne. They don't have any teams that are overseas. But you can also see where they studied, right? One person studied from Limerick. And who was that? Guys, whoever answers that question in the comment section, who actually studied in Limerick University in Ireland? Can someone answer that question in the comment section for a chocolate a chocolate bar at the next Hack for Good meetup? Like a 70% chocolate. Come on, guys, I'm waiting for you to answer that. Who out of Share Security organization went to Limerick University? That's the quiz. I'm going to wait, however long it takes. Is there like a what is it? Is that like a sound for this? I'm sure there's probably a sound for wait. Wait, what? Wait, no, that's not what I want. Right, okay. I'm not sure what one that is. Yep, I'm waiting, guys. I think that's pretty much. Oh, yes. Internet stranger, well done. Pamela is the one who went to Limerick University. Shout out to Blue Guard Labs podcast. You also got that right as well. So this is what SOCMINT is all about. This is what open source intelligence is. So we can tell that Pamela was the one who actually went to that university, right? And we actually see that someone went to Chisholm Institute, right? Someone went to Kaplan Professional Institute. Someone went to the University of Queensland International Baccalaureate, whatever that is. But we can see this. These are some of the highlights that you get on LinkedIn. So, guys, I'm teaching you how to use LinkedIn like a pro. Like better than 99.99% of people who are going to use LinkedIn, right? We can actually see what skills these people actually have. We can sort of see what they actually do, what they studied, computer science, information technology. So this kind of gives you an idea. Now, also having a look at this actually tells me that this organization is very likely to actually hire someone who has a TAFE certificate, because they have actually hired someone who studied a TAFE certificate before in the past. So that actually tells you that if you don't have a degree, that's not a barrier. They care about the skill. So we can see that Jonathan actually studied at Chisholm. Wait, was it the one? I don't think so. We're going to find out who that was. I think that was Jonathan that studied at Chisholm, but we'll confirm that. All right, so we actually scroll down. We can see people we may know. So we can actually see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 people that actually works at Shea Security. So we have Shansu Jiang. We have Evangloss P, security consultant. We have Jonathan Mitchell, who's the operational manager, and we also obviously have Jian Zhen, who's the security consultant and head of engineering, and Kaiga.com. So does he actually work here, or has he worked here in the past? And this is something you need to pay attention to. So if to find out, we actually go to his page so we can see if he actually actively still works here. So there you go. He does not actually work here anymore. He now works at Kaiga. He worked here for 6 years. 6 years, 11 months. Right? So that means this guy is definitely not the right person to reach out to. But we can see Pamela is the director. We have operational manager, which means Mitchell is probably the person who's likely to receive your resume. But for someone who's looking for a job, the fact that this is a small team is actually a net positive. It means that there's less bureaucracy and there's less politics in the organization. So the chances for your resume to be noticed and be seen is very high. So from here, you can actually connect to the person. I often recommend, because once you look at someone's page, they know that you've looked at their page. Now, you can actually look at their page anonymously if you have LinkedIn Premium, but no one cares, right? But you can see that this person obviously loves some sort of is that anime? I have no idea what that is, guys. This is how much of an old person I am. That's Cybears. Oh yeah, this is the Cybears CTF or something. So we can see this guy is obviously not too active on LinkedIn, but we can see a little bit more about him. Please sponsor us. We can stop hacking from the back room, right? So take a look at this. What is he talking about? So we can see a link here to something. So this is this International Cybersecurity Challenge. So we can see that guy actually participated in that challenge. And if anyone remembers that, Australia actually came forth from that. So I'm going to connect with him. And what you can actually do, you can reach out to this guy and say, hey dude, congratulations for coming forth, for being part of this team that came forth as part of that international hacking competition in Tokyo this year, which was, I think a little bit earlier this year. Yeah, 5 months ago. So no. This was the qualifier when he posted this. I think the actual event happened last 2 weeks. Yeah, I remember that it was actually happening while we were having Hck4G meetup. Conference, Corn and CTF. So they kind of coincided together. So we can actually see that this guy obviously does competitive hacking. So we can go back. Now we've actually sent him a friend request or a connection request, and when he accepts, we can actually go, hey dude, I'm currently considering applying for this job. Is there any tips you can give me? Thank you very much. And I find people are often likely to actually say yes to it when you ask them for help. And if you say that, if you ask it politely and you tell them what you already know, like if you send a message to someone that reads something like this, let me see if I can show you guys this. If you send a message to someone that reads stupidly, let me see. If you send a message, SOCINT, NerdKnight. So if you send someone this, you go, hey, I've forgotten his name. His last name Jiang, I'm guessing. No, that's his last name. So Chuan Shu. Like, let's say you send him a message like this. I am looking to apply for this job here. And then you copy the link. Again, I'm showing you guys what a typical person would do. Like who doesn't understand the power of soft skills and how to actually be like an elite hacker, right? And then you go, can you please recommend me? Or you don't even you'd be like, please recommend me. Thanks. Now, guys, how many of you know that if you send this to Chuan Shu, he's probably not going to reply? And this is the thing about human psychology. He's not going to reply to you directly asking him to help you out, because how can he genuinely recommend you when he doesn't know you? That's the problem that a lot of people make the mistake of, is that they reach out to random people and go, hey, can you help me recommend me for this job? Like, I can't recommend you, because if I'm recommending you, I'm putting my reputation on the line, and I don't know you. How am I supposed to do that? Here's a better strategy, guys. So you can do this instead. If I can type Chuan Shu, hope you are doing well. So we're going to butter him up, right? Thank you for accepting my connection request. And then you can say something like, I am currently researching about share security, as I would love to work there someday. Right? Would you have any tips on what sort of skills and whatever one may need to have to stand out when applying for a job there? Also, huge congratulations to you and your team at the the Oceania, is it? 2025 hackathon, or CTF, in Tokyo. So let's actually confirm this. Let's confirm that Australia came third. Tokyo International Cybersecurity Challenge, Japan. Pardon me, guys. Results. So ICC Tokyo, again, that I remember I told you guys that was actually happening as we were having Hack for Good conference and CTF. So here, see that? Guys, this is what SOCINT is. This is what OSINT is. SOCMINT. I have no idea why I call it SOCINT. SOCMINT. This is social media, open source intelligence. This is what it is. And obviously, you can tell that broadly, we're actually using a lot of OSINT skills. We're researching information and finding information and piercing information that typically are not connected together. We're bringing them together. So we can see that Oceania team came forth. Now, in our message, we are actually just drawing the connection between what he already knows and what he's excited about with what we want. So we're not just asking him some random question. We are just saying, hey, dude, this actually shows that we've taken our time to research him. We understand who he is or who she is a little bit more. And we're not just some random person who's just, bombing and sending people a bunch of messages on LinkedIn. So your chances of getting a reply is a lot higher. Now, obviously, nothing can be guaranteed. Please let me know if you have any clarifying questions. Looking forward to hearing back from you. If I can spell. Kind regards, Sammy Chucks, right? Or sign whatever your name is. And also, another question you can obviously add in here if you wanted to also improve it is, would you say it is a good organization to work at, and do they support professional development for employees? Now, these are all green flags because you're asking questions that obviously show that you're someone who cares about knowledge. You guys are seeing this? Yes, Alex, thank you very much. Well, this is not an English class. This is a SOCMINT class. So again, write it in your own English terms and the way you write your own thing. But the point of this is that you're going beyond just saying, hey, can you recommend me for a job? You're actually reaching out and you're connecting with him, right? So the chances of this guy, if he's going to be looking at resumes, the chances of him seeing your resume and going, oh, I know that guy. I remember he reached out to me on LinkedIn. So if you're able to reach out to the 5 people that are here, you can actually learn a lot about them. Now, taking this a little bit further, let's find out what the email domain. Let's say you want to actually send an email to this guy, right? I'm going to show you guys a really cool tool. So let's say we go, oh, well, I would like to actually bypass all of this and send an email to them directly. We can see that the email domain, the fully qualified domain is sharesecurity.com.au. Well, there you go. So we know the first name and last name, and we know that organizations typically have different ways of having an email structure. So it can either be first name dot last name, or first name, first letter of first name, and then last name at sharesecurity.com.au. So you can actually do this manually and basically go, all right, email. List. Again, I'm not going to test this because I don't actually want to reach out to them directly. So we know that the domain is this. Hang on. So this is the domain. No, just give me just pure text. Thank you. Yep. And we know that different email mutation types. I think there's like 16 of them, 16 possible email mutations. So to do that, we know that it can either be first name dot last name. So we know that the first name of this guy, if we wanted to reach out, let's actually use Pamela because Pamela is a much more public personnel than the other guy. So let's go to Pamela, and then we say, all right, we know Pamela's first name and last name is this. And we want to send Pamela a private email so we can bypass HR, right? That's what this whole thing is all about. So what we can do is because there's potentially 16 different permutations of this person's name that can work for their email. There's a bit of try and error that you have to do here to obviously get this right. But we can do P O Shay. So we know that email will not allow us to do the apostrophe. Or is that a... Yeah, I think that's an apostrophe. I have no idea. So we can do Shay Security. So we can see that she's obviously spelled it as Shay. without the O'Shea, because I don't think the email will let her do that. .com.au. So that's one way you can write it. So that's first name. So this is first letter of first name, then last name, right? Or we can do Pamela dot O'Shea at sharesecurity.com.au. So this one is first name dot last name domain, email domain. Right? So you guys are seeing that. And then another thing that I've seen people do is Pamela. Like I said to you guys, there's potentially 16 different permutations of this that you could have. Share security. If I can type. It's 10:30 p.m. here. So for those who are judging me, all of you international people that are judging me there in the comment section and going, oh, Sammy cannot type, blah, 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 blah. Leave me alone. All right, so this would be first name dot first letter of last name, email domain, right? I'm just going to skip the email domain. Another thing you can obviously do is Pamela O at Share Security. You guys get the point, right? So if you go through this, right? If you go through this, and then you basically, what you do is you send an email to this person. So I'm going to show you guys how to do this. I don't have, we could probably use Thunderbird if I have the lab platform, actually. Go away, and let's see. Lab. So if I do new email, right? So I can see I'm going to send this email via, I don't know, Hack4Good, whatever. And then what we can do is we can actually send this email back to ourselves. The reason we're doing this is because we know we're going to get a bunch of bounced emails, right? So several of these emails are going to be wrong. So they're going to bounce back to us. So to avoid adding them to the tow address, so she doesn't actually feel like we are trying to find out her email, what we can do is to send this email to ourselves, right? So we can go CTF. I'll just do this. CTF at Hack4Good, or I would say support, because we are doing CyLynk stuff. CyLynk.com, and then in the BCC, copy those emails that you've got and chuck them into the BCC. Go away. So what this does is it will send the email to support@CyLynk.com, but also send a copy to her. And she would not be able to see the BCCs. She would just receive the email as though it was destined to her. Of course, you will see the tow address as well. She's going to actually know what you're doing. Like, she's a cybersecurity expert. She's not naive or daft, but she understands this, and she's going to actually respect this, the extent to which you've gone to be able to reach out to her. And as long as you're not being a smart pant or being rude or being inappropriate or being stupid, you can reach out. Hey, Pamela, I'm so sorry for troubling your day. My name is Sammy Chucks, and I've been studying cybersecurity for blah, 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 blah. I'm super excited for the opportunity that you guys currently have right now for a graduate cybersecurity consultant. I'm super excited, and I've always had a hacker mindset. Again, tell your own story, right? Tell your story. Don't be afraid to do that. And a huge cautionary tale is do not use AI to write this at all. Do not use AI, and triple check, quadruple check, triple check, quadruple check, and I mean this, guys. So many opportunities have been lost with people being lazy at the last minute. Imagine putting in 20 hours of work, again, exaggeration there, to do the research about this organization, finding out a bit more about Pamela and whatnot, which we're going to keep digging. And then it is the time that you're actually about to send them an email that you become lazy, which is the most important, the most critical point. Because that's the stuff they're going to read about you. And then once you've done that, you then actually attach a copy of your resume to it. Guys, if anyone has any questions about any of the stuff we've been talking about so far, please go ahead and add that question in the comment section, please. And I'll be more than happy to obviously answer it. But this is the stuff. This is the stuff that all these other platforms don't teach you. There's no course on this other than the CyLynk.com platform where you actually learn the job ready skills that you need to be able to actually apply for a job. No one shows you how to do this. And that's what I'm showing you guys today for free, 100% free. So definitely go ahead and start learning this. This is super important. This stuff is super important. So do not take it for granted. So by just doing this alone, you have actually done what 99.99% of people have not done. And herein we have what CyLynk calls gain an edge. This is what the gain an edge effect is. This is what makes you stand out. This is what you are doing that is ultimately going to land you an opportunity with an organization. Now, is every one of them going to be favorable? No, 100% no. But if you do this with 20 job applications, I can guarantee you that out of those 20, if you don't land a job, you would get a really good rapport, and you would have built a relationship with someone. And here's the thing to keep in mind is it's not just for now. When she sends this email, Pamela is going to know you. She's going to remember you. And then if you go to one of the events that she's been at before, you go, oh, hey, Pamela, my name is Semi. I was the one who sent you the email. I'm so sorry for invading your mailbox, but here's what I'm studying. This is how, guys, you get ahead. This is how you gain job-ready skills. When you've done all the studies, this is how you actually use SOCMINT and OSINT to actually find information about people. So basically, we've just created a bunch of permutation of her possible email. We know that some of this will bounce back, but one of it will be correct. And that email will actually go through to her. Again, I'm very careful that I don't actually dox her. So that's why I kind of stopped there. But you guys get the idea. So what we can then do further now is we can actually learn a little bit more about Pamela. So who is Pamela O'Shea? Right? So let's find out. This is where it gets fun, right? We go back to OSINT and just Google her name. So guys, here's a tip, an expert tip. When you do a Google search, it is often riddled with your biases. So it is often riddled with the things that you know and your ability to ask good questions. And the average cybersecurity beginner does not actually know how to ask good questions. So my recommendation is to just dump the text. Don't add your bias in there. Don't ask who is, what is, where does she live, where does she work. Don't ask those questions. Because you need to, first of all, begin your investigation journey from an absolute novice point of view, as though you don't know anything. And what often happens is that by default, Google's algorithm is trying to give you information that is as closest to you as possible and as relevant to your question as possible. So which means you're very likely to miss information if you look at the first page only. And secondly, if you ask the wrong question, you're very likely to miss the right answer. This is why doing that initial dump is super important, because it allows you to be able to actually grasp the information. Again, this is something this is the only place you learn this, guys, only at CyLynk.com. So we've just done a dump, and we can see that there's a few information here about pages. So what most people don't do is they don't actually look beyond the first page. So we're going to look beyond the first page. We're going to find out. Again, obviously the name Pamela is a very popular name, from people who are from Ireland. So we're very likely to find things that are not exactly, relevant to this person that we're looking for. But that's where we obviously need our common sense to be able to find the right information, right? Cool. All right, so let's take a look at this. We can see that her website. We can see her website as well. So is there any difference here? No difference. So the same website. We've already looked at her LinkedIn page. What else do we have? Oh, Pentester Lab interview. with a pro user. There we go. This was from 2019. We're very likely to actually learn a little bit more about Pamela here. Or we can also see that. Oh, okay. We can see that there's a detail here at at the business, which is ABN detail here for Pamela Mary. So we've got a middle name. Again, I don't want to dox her, so I'm not going to go into that page, right? So we also see an IT security consultant here from what year? I don't know what year that was, but we're going to open that, right? So we take a look at this. Let's see if there's actually a video. So I run my own security business called Share Security, and I'm Pamela O'Shea on Twitter. Oh, we've got a Twitter handle. There we go. Now we've got this. We can record this. I'm going to have to message Pamela to let her know that we did this. Boy, okay. My aspiration is to see more women working in technical security roles. Guys, are you seeing this? This is the stuff I'm talking about. We're hearing this directly from Pamela's mouth, and we are beginning to understand the things that she cares about. And it's often the soft skills that kill people. It's often knowing how to connect with individuals that a lot of people struggle with. It's easy to get the technical skills. Well, not exactly easy. Easier said than done. But getting that technical skill can sometimes be very easy. But knowing how to actually apply that skill in a conversation, knowing how to carry that, and knowing how to relate with the person you're talking with on a human level is super important, right? So see that? I was a super lucky as a kid. My father worked at Wang Laboratories and had a side business building computers from scratch. Guys, look at that. From a young age of about 11, I was helping my father make custom desktop builds for his business. We were putting in RAM, CPUs, hard disk, and cabling. It's all up in little assembly lines with my siblings. And then testing the boot into an OS like Windows 3.1, DOS, which is Windows DOS. So I guess I started on the hardware side. Living in the country in the middle of nowhere, it was hard to find tech people, but I really, really wanted to learn how to code. A typical Irish story, but my father met a farmer in the local pub whose son was an embedded programmer. So I got a list of topics to study from him, but C by examples, and I was hooked from there. Once I found IRC in the mid-90s, again, if anyone remembers what IRCs are, the internet relay chats. They were very popular in the mid-90s and early 2000s. I discovered the security channels and was hanging out with lots of interesting people. Installed Linux from a CD-ROM in the book and started playing war games online. Once I read TCP/IP Illustrated Volume 1, I was hooked on security too. And instead of doing homework, I was learning as much about the internet as possible. Guys, this is the stuff we've just learned about Pamela. Information that was not on her website. This is the power of OSINT. So now when you send that email, you can actually personalize it and say, I really identify with your story of blah, 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 blah. You see this, guys? Oh, by the way, Internet Stranger, I see your email, your question. If I'm aiming for a security analyst job, is there a point to apply for jobs like this that are aligned with pen testing and the red side? Well, it seems like this is a graduate role that they're happy to train people for. So I'm quite happy for you to, if you wanted to apply to it, there's nothing wrong. You can apply for it. But if you're wanting to go for a SOC analyst job, this same skill, what we're talking about right here, is not actually just for this job. This is for every single job. The knowledge, the tips, the tricks, everything I'm showing you guys right now about SOCMINT and OSINT actually applies. So you can take this knowledge and do whatever you want with it. You can use it to apply for being a janitor or whatever you want to apply for. So there's a lot of really good information here about Pamela that we would not have found if you had not done an OSINT on her. Right? Oh, even going further, we can see a bunch of slides that she did. So she spoke at B-Side Canberra 2018, a low-cost guide to satellite listening. Right? Introduction to software-defined radios. We know that she cares about SDRs by looking at this. Right? We can see some of her old slides. Isn't this cool, guys? This is the stuff. So this is how you actually learn about people. Now, along this, obviously, but whilst we were doing the investigation, we found her X handle. Now we can actually go and find Pamela on X, right? Again, do you guys see the pivot here? We went from going to seek.com.au, going to their website, going to Meetup, going to LinkedIn, looking at the different people in the team, going to what is it? Going to Google. We can even do a YouTube search for Pamela. Has she ever had an interview? Let's see. Well, there's some person who's died. Well, so it doesn't look like we're going to find a lot of anything from YouTube. All right. Well, another thing we can do is add cyber. Oh, what? Bear. I have no idea what's going on with my laptop. Hang on. I think the RAM is struggling. So Pamela cybersecurity. Oh, what do we have here? There we have Pamela in an interview from the Diana Initiative Career Village 2 years ago. It's a 1-hour conversation about beginning cybersecurity research. Are you guys seeing this? Hopefully you guys are loving what you're seeing so far, all right? This is how you perform SOCINT, right? SOCMINT. So we've obviously found all of this good juicy information. Let's take a look at her X page and see, if there's anything else. Again, by now you have enough information to be able to send that email, right? And the key thing here that I'm obviously trying to draw your attention to is that often when you are trying to reach out to someone, you often need to tie information together. You need to refer back to something that she can remember, because it's very likely that this person doesn't know you. And for you to build trust is not something that just happened overnight. Trust needs to essentially be built over time. But the quickest way for you to build trust with someone is to refer to something they already know. So information that is already they're very used to is something that you can refer to. So they were going to do a meetup on the 25th of February, whatever it is, the 27th of February 2025, and that got cancelled. And that was the last time. Again, I told you guys you can actually bring this up during the meeting. Yes, internet stranger. Yes, that might be something we can obviously find on the page as well from Gordon. Okay, so we've seen some posts here. So does she have any recent posts, right? So I'm going to show you guys some cool things here. So we can actually write a query. We can actually write a query on here. So we can do from. So her username. So we're not doing an add her. And we do scenes. So we want to do scenes. So 2025 dash 11 dash 01. Right? So let's see so no result for her. So she hasn't made any post this month. So let's take a look at that. What about, has anyone actually reached out to her? So let's do a to. So we can do a from and we can do a to. So we haven't seen anyone reach out to her. All right, cool. So what about at? Has anyone added her? Right, so she's been added here. But I'm sure that's probably some crypto bro that that is looking for someone to scam. Right? Well, we can see that obviously there's a bit of thing in there. So one thing we can do is, since it seems like she hasn't, let's get rid of the scenes, because I think maybe the filter might be wrong. Just just for the sake of it. We clear all filters. I'm just double checking to make sure. And then we go to, so you click on that button here on X, the three hamburger button, I think. And then you go to advanced search. Now you can obviously do this. So all of the keywords. So we're not looking for that keyword anymore. We're doing, so remember we did it from, so we want to look for her. And we want to look at when, date, November 1st. So yeah, that filter did work. I have no idea. So let's go further from January. When was the last time she posted? Let's find out. Interesting. So it could be that she's made her page private, which is very likely. It seems like she's not active anymore on Twitter, because the last thing I can see here are all from 2024. But what about replies? Has she done any replies? No. Okay, cool. All right. So we can also see that she loves riding horses, right? Now, if you wanted to actually find out where this is, right? Northwestern Port, Nature Conservative Reserve. Hello, guys. There you go. Now, obviously, I kind of don't want to dox her and trying to find out where she lives. That's not the point of this whole thing. But we can sort of see how you can use SOCMINT and OSINT to dig deeper to understand a little bit more about someone and to actually grow and to actually be able to turn that into something that is useful for job application and for whatnot, and so on and so forth. I think that's a really good place for us to wrap it up. So, guys, I'm going to give you those were the days. I believe that's where we first met. Yes. So, does anyone have any other questions, by the way? And guys, if you do have a question after this session, and you want to obviously learn a little bit more about OSINT and SOCMINT and all of that, if you have a question later after this, by the way, please, guys, let no one dox Pamela. I would personally hunt you down. I will personally hunt you down and find you wherever you are. So please, use only. Again, there's this saying that with much power comes, with great power comes great responsibility. And this is essentially what we're trying to do here at Hack for Good and CyLynk and the Link Group in general, is we are trying to show you that you can use highly technical skills like what I just showed you guys for good. You don't have to be a bad person. You can use this for good. You can use it to apply for a job. You can use it to do something good. And if you're looking for how to practice your skills, guys, you can go to Sonia Santos. .net. Is that her page? No, I think that's the wrong one. Let me search for OSINT. Maybe that'll help. Sophia, not Sonia. So you can go to growhicks.com. I'm going to put that in the chat. So if anyone wants to obviously play with that, if you want to practice your technical OSINT skills, you can do that from that link I just posted. So please do not do anything illegal with the information you've just learned right now. Guys, thank you so much for hanging around. I'm still waiting if anyone has any questions. This has been fun. This has been quite informative for me. I've learned a lot from this. Obviously, some of the things we haven't covered is the Wayback Machine or the Internet Archive. So how do you find also in Internet Archive how to create a Sock Puppet account? How do you create an account for investigation like this? Because like when I looked at Pamela's account on LinkedIn, she would have noticed that I was looking at her account, so she would know that. So how do you build an investigative account where people don't actually know? So it's called a Sock Puppet account. And things like how do you use a VPN platform to ensure that no one knows where you're doing the research from. So that's where you can use platforms like, again, I'm not going to promote any specific VPN platform here because they're not paying me, but I personally use Proton VPN. They're really good and it's affordable and whatnot. So guys, this is what it is. I'm super excited to have had this session with you guys today. Hopefully you've learned a lot. Hopefully you learned a lot with me. I know I have learned a lot. And if you love the session, please do not forget to smash the like button. Love it. Break that button. And then if you have not already subscribed to the CyLynk page, definitely go ahead and subscribe. But guys, it's been an incredible experience chatting with you guys today and learning. Yes, there are some heavy stuff, internet stranger. So that's something you got to be very mindful of when you're doing OSINT, is to make sure that you don't obviously look at malicious information, or go take a look at something a little bit more something explicit. So take care to not obviously hurt your heart. Oops, that was very loud. So sorry, guys. All right, it is time to bring this baby home. Oh boy, guys, seriously, you can see I'm sweating. This is how cool this has been. Oh boy, I'm getting back into it. I'm feeling a lot better. I haven't actually done this. Guys, this is where my heart is, helping you guys understand some of the more technical stuff that is a little bit more complicated, and actually showing you how to apply these skills in the real world. Job ready skills is a hill I'm going to die on, and this is all we're known for here at CyLynk.com. Guys, for $15 a month, you can start learning some of the things I just showed you here right now, with hands-on labs, with vulnerable machines, and you can actually get expert mentorship and training and support by joining our Discord server if you haven't already done that. And if you're someone who's out there, you're going, you know what? I kind of, I don't want to do all this on my own. I need help. I would like a coach, right? And one thing I've learned is this: even elite athletes, they want a coach. Do you know why? It's not that they don't know how to learn how to box themselves. It's not that they don't know how to play soccer themselves. It is because someone in your life, a coach, allows you to be able to see things that perhaps you are very short-sighted or you ignore in your own personal life. You all know that. We can often ignore things it's like basic things that you know, but you don't want to actually take action about it. That's the power of a coach. Someone who can actually help guide you, provide strategic guidance, strategic alignment to your career, and drive your career forward to ensure that you actually achieve your career goals. And guys, this is not just mentorship. This is hardcore coaching that is targeted, and it is tax-oriented. So if you want to take a look at that, go to CyLynk.com right now. Go to our Job Ready tracks and sign up so you can actually start getting jobs. Guys, our Job Ready tracks are job guaranteed. Of course, for only those who are in Australia for now, until we're able to do that overseas as well. Guys, you know all the updates that are coming. Hck4G Tour 2026 is coming up. We obviously have the Hck4G meetup that is coming up as well in January 2025. So guys, shout out to all the incredible people that obviously come to those events and come to eat the good pizza, right? Shout out to CyLynk for being a strategic partner of Hck4G. And shout out to my team who are in the back end, pushing the button, doing all the crazy stuff, the cyber DJ, and the amazing individuals out there who help put all of this together. You know yourself, you're all incredible. I am so grateful, right? So thank you so much, guys, and remain safe, do the right thing. Remember, hack for good, and do not forget learning, do not stop learning. This is going to be an incredible journey over the next few years. I'm super excited, guys. I'm excited. It's going to be super cool, right? This is just the beginning. And with that, peace. Enjoy your weekend, everyone. Love you guys.